Hi, I'm Brickroad, and I got some hiccups. The Wawa put too many peppers on my sandwich, and you don't care about that. There's an option on the menu here called the Jump To game that unlocks after you complete the game once, and this was my favorite feature back in the day because it lets you immediately jump to any chapter you want to play out of the 12. I think my favorite to play back in the day, I played Paul's quite a lot, and I played Michael's quite a lot. These two chapters are just a lot of fun. Paul's has a lot of interesting story and interplay between characters, which other chapters don't. And then Michael just hits giant monsters with an axe. What's not to love? But today we need to play the end game here. So let's load up. Let's get in there. And let's complete Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. When we last left off, we were locked down in the city of Enga. There is no way back up into the house at this point. Alex received the third essence, the essence of Ulioth, along with this enchanted Gladius in a package, and we have a mysterious benefactor sent it to her. And some fan speculation is that the mysterious benefactor is Michael himself. Hold on a second. I need to make sure I'm getting these spells right. We need a shield spell. Yeah, I've only got a 5-point. I need a 7-point shield spell. Doesn't really matter what color. Protect self. Get a bunch of paragons. And let's just assign that down here. I also need to cast a Dispel Magic. This is kind of a mean trick, because you could run all the way across this field, which actually takes the full 7-point shield, and then get all the way over there, only to find... Where is Dispel Area? I don't know if I made a 7-point Dispel Area yet, but let's go ahead and cast that. Dispel Magic, 7-point. Yeah, you can cross the entire damage field here, the whole glowy gold floor. And then just there's a damage field in front of the door and you die. Mean trick, game. How about I cast a shield spell here? Oh, I don't have magic energy for it. Oh, I cast Magic Pool instead of Shield. That was silly. But if Michael is the person who delivers the brown package to Alex, which is what a lot of fans back in the day speculated, that means that he didn't get killed the night he gave the package to Edward. Not only that, but like he had to go back to Rhode Island at some point to get the essence back. Like, how did that go? Like, he calls up Edward one day. He's like, "Oh, dude, remember that artifact that I gave? I need that back for a minute. Can I get that from you?" No, I'll swing back, drop it off, no problem. As soon as the Guardians catch up with me or whatever, I'll just ring the bell and leave it inside. So I got this glowing sword too. I'll go ahead and throw that in the box just for your time. So we've got the 3 pedestal room, and Pious is like, wait a minute, if I break one of the pedestals... But we have an answer to that. It's the mix command. So we'll create the top of a broken pedestal. We just got to cast a 3-point enchant item to fix it. And then Alex has to go through her 9 points pillar adventure. So she doesn't have the 2,000 years experience that Pious has, but she does have 3 of the 4 essences, where Pious only has the 1. And she's not completely dominated by any of the Ancients' personality, because neither she nor any of the people in the past who helped to collect these essences touched them with their bare hands. Haha. Alright, got the Enchanted Gladius. We're good to go. Oh, no, we're not. We got to turn on one of the arrays first. And let's look for trappers here. Oh, we do have trappers, but we have a secret weapon now. Oh, I guess you can't throw the Gladius at trappers. Never mind. We have the regular old weapon. Oh, you know, we just have this. They were getting a little too close for comfort, so went ahead and blasted them. But instead of just having to pull levers, Alex actually has little puzzles, magic puzzles she has to solve. And most of them are similar to, if not identical to, other puzzles throughout the game, but it's a big area that tests your magic all at once, instead of being tested a little bit at a time like the rest of the chapters. Like, hey, you got a new spell, find the place in this dungeon to use it. Like here, you've got to remember, well, we used a reveal invisible spell, and I'm pretty sure they want a, is it absorb area? Is reveal invisible? Yeah, we need a 7 point. I'm pretty sure we need a 7 point. I'll just cast a 7 point to make this bridge appear. But you don't have the same connection as Bianchi had when he made Invisible Bridge appear, because it's been many adventures since you've had to do Reveal Invisible, so it's a little better than just having to flip a switch in each room. I do kind of wish there were more monsters down here, but I guess they established that Edward destroyed the bulk of the monsters, so what's actually left here would just be the protections that Pious Augustus put in place while he's finalizing his ritual. So we have puzzles instead of combat. Which, I don't know, at the end of a game like this, I think I would take the puzzles over the combat, to be honest. Every game ends with combat. This one, ends with puzzles. Puzzles and trappers. Lots and lots of trappers in this final area. So we need... Edward told us to summon a creature that will counter the one that Pious is summoning. Pious is using 2,000 years of Magic Lich experience. We're going to use the power of 3 combined artifacts. And of course, to counter a... Oh, there's trappers down there. Oh, there's lots of trappers. Lots and lots of trappers. Looks like we blasted 5 or 6 of them. That's amazing. Instead of summoning our Dark God or whatever, we need to summon a creature that can destroy the Dark God. Well, we've played the whole game, and red always beats green, and our enemy is green. So we're going to cast a 9-point summon creature spell, which will summon... do I have enough? Did my head just fall off? It did. My head just fell off. Oh, there goes my arm. I want to get out of here before I lose any more limbs. Oh, invisible walls in the way. I don't actually want to walk out into the floor because I don't know if it'll eat up my shield or not. I'm thinking, is 4 motes enough to get me to the door from here?
This can't be happening!
Don't worry, Alex. It's not happening. It's all in your imagination. I guess we'll run down here and find out. I should be alright. Just barely alright, I think. Yeah, just barely alright. We still have 1 more mote left. Now let's turn this one on. But that's what Michael's chapter... I mean, Michael's chapter exists for lots of reasons. It's not just like a... It's not just stupid filler. Scan for trappers. There's none here. Okay. It helps to break up these 2... 9-point spell chapters, where Edward has to run around and place a bunch of runes, then Alex has to run around and place a bunch of runes. And I honestly think you could have even pushed Edward a little earlier in the game, like Luther and then Bianchi and then Edward and then Peter, and then get 7-point magic in Peter's chapter. Oh, this is a self-explanatory little puzzle here. We just want to cast a blue summon trapper. Remember, in this room, Edward gets little glimpses of the puzzles that Alex has to solve here. And in this room, when he opened the door, he broke out of stasis these 3 monsters. A horror, a zombie, and a trapper. And we just ran away from them because we were invisible. But now the door is back in place, and Alex has to replace these monsters. We want a red zombie. I want my Pepsi. Where'd it go? Here it is. Delicious. And we'll just stick him right in here. One puzzle I wish they'd come up with was a better summon horror puzzle. Like, I'm not even sure what you could do with the engine as is, but, like, give you a reason to summon a horror rather than just stick him in this window over here in this like little pet shop. Oh, what the? Blue screen, huh? Press Control Alt. Well, I can't press. I don't have a Control Alt. Oh, it was a sanity effect. It got me, guys. It got me. Well, let's cast a green summon horror. I can't. I gotta run some laps first. One sanity effect that I don't think we've seen. I swear, I don't think we've seen it in the in any of the videos, but I think I've seen it in every single test play because I've been straddling. I've been test playing a chapter, then recording it, then test playing the next chapter, then recording it. But there's a sanity effect where bugs just start crawling across the screen like little cockroaches. And I swear I've seen that sanity effect in every single test play I've done for this game the whole time. This scene here, I had bugs crawling all over the screen. But actually, no, I can't think of a puzzle. Like, okay. Imagine, like, okay, you've got like some kind of schism, like in the middle of the room, like a magma field or something that you can't... I'm really low on magic. That you can't cross, and then put a barrier, like a magical barrier in between it that you can't shoot through. And then put zombies on the other side that you've got to kill. Oh, that's not the spell I wanted to cast. I guess I do need a pull up. But then you would need the horror's like electricity attack in order to kill the zombies on the other side. Well, I don't know. I guess the magical attack spell would work as well. Yeah, you have to make some changes to the game as it exists to create a puzzle where the only logical solution is summoning a horror. I guess you'd have to do something a little different, which maybe would have been fine. Would have been fine, maybe. But yeah, it does just feel a little bit like a cop-out that the one time you've got to summon a horror in the game is to fulfill a room that literally is labeled with a horror, you know? Maybe just make better, like, less obvious clues there. I see you up there. I think that was the only one. Let's place our Paragon rune and get out of here. Okay. Or maybe you make monsters immune to damage floors. Oh, this is actually a fun room. I got stuck here for hours. So you've got this purple floor, and if you run across it... Worms! But Alex can't just defeat the worm. Now, Edward in this room, he just took his hooch out and drank it and snapped back to reality. Back from the yellow urine dimension here. But Alex doesn't have any hooch because Edward didn't actually leave her hooch. Remember, he left her a pickaxe. And you can run around this room forever and ever and ever, and nothing to interact with in here. You can summon a trapper and go to the trapper dimension. You can summon a horror and fight it if you want. The only thing that works is we have to cast a spell here. Absorb Self. We have to cast, for the first time in the game, a green recover spell to restore our sanity. And only when your sanity meter is completely full do you snap back. Oh my god, I think I was stuck in this room forever the first time I played this game. And the solution is just to sneak across. It's the only time in the game you actually need to sneak. I guess there are other areas in the game where you can sneak, like monsters won't hear you, but that's not usually a big deal. The big problem is the monsters seeing you. And that's that. Let's get our pool back up. Cheeky game. And I definitely have enough shield to survive this run. Alex has a lot of magic, and she regains magic really, really quickly. And I think it's probably because they realized, hey, if we're going to have a room that you got to pass through a whole bunch of times over and over and over with a 7-point shield spell, we're going to have to make sure that her magic comes back lickety-split. Alright, anybody here? Anybody in this house? Nope. This is where we're going to pop our Chaturga rune. So, after everything she's been through, Alex is building a 9-point summon Chaturga spell. And for some reason, she doesn't consider this to be a bad idea. There's a trapper over there. Which means there's probably many trappers in this room. Oh, I didn't see that one on the stairs up there. And there was one behind me. Okay. I guarantee if I had tried to shoot one of these guys with the gun, because you see 2 more doors leading into this room, and if you look at the map here, actually, you see we've got to come through this room from a couple different directions. If I had tried to use my gun there instead of the magic attack, probably we would have ended up in the trapper dimension before it was all said and done. But I do think they could have paced the chapters a little bit better if they did Luther unlocks 5-point magic, and then you do Bianchi's chapter, and then you do Peter's chapter, which immediately unlocks 7-point magic. If you slot Edward in there, in between Bianchi and Peter, you have one more chapter to play around with 7-point magic before you, or 5-point magic before you go directly to 7-point, which I think would be interesting. Oh, there's a buddy. There he is. And then you have a 2-chapter buffer because you play through Peter and Michael before you've got to come back here and do this a second time. I do know they had to shuffle some chapters around very late in the production of this game. There was a couple characters that got cut. Oh, is it just going to show us that they're invisible? Yeah. Oh, that's adorable. I think what we should do here is cast a 3-point reveal invisible to show us where all the trappers are, and then just zap all of them. How does that sound? Where are you at, guys? There we go. Enjoy. Holy crap! That was, what, 9 trappers in this room? I would never have got them all with my gun. No way. Let's get the pool back out. And how close were we? Oh, we're way up here. Yeah, we definitely need a full spell for this. I probably could have used up the 2 dots that I had to make it to, like, the next alcove, but magic regenerates so quickly that it's not a big deal. And if you really want, obviously, you can cast a purple pool instead of a red pool, and then just get your magic regenerating incredibly quickly, if you really, really were so inclined. Next. Alright, anybody live here? No, okay. We're good to go. Drop our Paragon and be outies. A couple more monsters would have been fine. Just a couple zombies to mow through or something. Something you can use this Enchanted Gladius on, honestly. I mean, it gets a lot of use in the final battle, but it would have been nice to just have some zombies to throw it at. So, oh, you know we can use it in this room. Because we have to destroy each of these pedestals, just like Edward did. Actually, fighting vampires here might have been okay. But for some reason, the 3 ancients work together this time, and if you destroy a pedestal, the other 2 not only revive it, but summons backup. There's a Chiturga horror for me to fight now. This is fine, we'll just whip our sword at it. No, can't catch me. Alex is pretty fast, which is nice. And she has a lot of stamina. She can run for a long time. Oh, I'm too close. You gotta be far enough away to actually trigger the ranged attack. Otherwise, she just tries to swipe at it. Lay down, kid. So, hey, we got to use the Enchanted Gladius a little bit. And every time you destroy one of these 3 obelisks, the other 2 revive it. So what we actually have to do is create a 7 points project area. and magical attack. Cast that at 7 points. Doesn't really matter what color, it'll hit all 3 of these obelisks regardless. I do think a better solution to this would have been like magical attack can affect 2 of the 3 colors, but it can't affect its own color. Like a purple magical attack, yeah, that's a fine solution. Kill all 3 of them. A red magical attack should leave the Chiturga one alive, and then maybe you it summons a horror, and then starts to revive the other 2, and then you've got to destroy the horror, and then destroy the obelisk through more conventional means, like you use a shotgun or something on it. Might have been a little bit better solution. It does seem like it kind of breaks the fiction of the game a little bit to have one color spell affect all 3 of those obelisks the same way. Then again, maybe not, because red magic attacks still hurt red creatures, just not as much as a blue one does. And my Chiturga rune just cannot keep up with me. It's way back there in Hassan Theffer. Alright guys, we're getting there. 2 more. 2 more. We're rolling. Flip for trappers. Nope, no trappers today. Oh, I told you I had some hiccups. Oh, and they taste exactly like... Well, we want summon here, because we're going to summon Chiturga to the plane of existence, which is a great idea. Don't worry, I've got all this figured out already. Yes, all those hiccups taste like banana peppers. Delicious on the sandwich, but I feel like you should put like 8 banana peppers on the whole sandwich. A 10-inch sandwich at the Wawa. Like 7 or 8 banana peppers across the top of the sandwich. Instead, I think they put in like 38,000. Oh, what have we here? Oh, a nice full view of the room. A huge stone block etched with bizarre etchings. It would be weird if it was etched with anything other than etchings. Wouldn't that be weird if they were etched with, like, macaroni art? That would be very strange. So all I have to do is 7-point dispel here. Shoutouts to Not a Butt Face for sponsoring this video, and to everybody who helps make my channel possible by supporting me on Patreon.